If you're a coach who's feeling stuck in your business, stay tuned. I'm going to be talking all about why we can feel stuck sometimes and what you can do to bust through to the next level. Let's dive in. Hi there, welcome to the Wholehearted Business Show. I'm Laura. I help health, life and spiritual coaches get more clients so they can generate more income and live their most aligned life. And today on the show, we're talking all about what to do if you are feeling stuck. And I think feeling stuck and feeling like things aren't progressing and all of the associated feelings that come with that is actually quite common. I think when we are embarking on something like creating and growing a coaching business, I think it's really natural to sometimes have these periods where things feel a little bit stagnant, and there's all sorts of different reasons why that might be the case, which we're going to explore today. There's so many different reasons that we can feel stuck, and obviously feeling stuck is not a state that we want to hang out in, so we want to be able to get unstuck and to progress towards our version of success. And we're going to talk a bit about what that can look like in your business today. So why can we get stuck in our business? I'm going to list off a few different ways that you might be feeling stuck, a few different things that might be creating that stuck feeling, and you can see if any of these resonate with you. So the first thing is sometimes it can be to do with our income. Maybe what we were doing before was working and now it's not working. Maybe we're really struggling to make money, struggling to get clients. That's a really common reason why we can feel stuck. Another reason why we can feel stuck is that something might have happened that has knocked our confidence, and that's shifted how we are showing up in our businesses. Maybe that's you've had your first refund request, maybe you got negative feedback from someone, maybe something happened outside of your business to knock your confidence. All of those things can have an impact and make you feel stuck as well. Perhaps we have poor boundaries and that's impacting how we feel in our business. So maybe we're starting to feel a little bit resentful of our clients. Maybe that's impacting on us feeling really burnt out and feeling like we just don't love our businesses anymore. That can certainly lead to feeling a bit stuck. Perhaps we just don't have a plan for what it is that we actually need to do to get to where we want to go. I think this is actually so common, but it's easy one to not identify with. It's an easy one to miss out. And if we don't have a plan, if we don't feel like we know that we're working on things that is actually going to work, that just in itself can feel like you're just on a hamster wheel and nothing's actually going anywhere. Perhaps you're just massively overwhelmed. There are a lot of things that you can do to grow a coaching business. There's so many different things, and it's really easy to get overwhelmed with all of the different things that people are suggesting, like all of the stuff that you could be doing. It's really easy to get overwhelmed just with the sheer volume of stuff that you might think that you have to do in order to grow a coaching business. That's a really common reason for feeling massively stuck, is that you're just overwhelmed to the point of inaction. I feel like a lot of the reasons why some of us get stuck is because we don't have a really clear vision for where it is that we want to take our business in terms of like the actual concrete things. So we know that we want our coaching business to work, we might know that we want clients, we might know that we vaguely want to earn some income, but actually having really solid goals and a solid version of success, obviously that's all aligned with you. And often I think about goals in terms of how I feel, which is a slightly different way to approach them. But I think when we have this clear version of success and we have this clear sense of what are the milestones on the way to achieving that, then that really shifts how we can show up in that stuck feeling. But I'm going to talk through 5 different things that can really help you if you are feeling stuck. And I'd love to know if you're listening to that and actually you're feeling stuck for a completely different reason. Please let me know in the comments, and I will respond and give you some tips if you are feeling stuck in a completely different way. But I'm going to give you 5 key things that you can try if you're feeling stuck in your coaching business to help you get unstuck. Number 1 is to identify what's working and what's not working. So this is just one of my really simple questions to ask myself whenever I'm feeling in that place of feeling a bit stuck, a bit stagnant, a bit like demotivated, is really just to look at, okay, what is going on? And generally I look at this like across the board in my life and my business, because the way that I run my business is that it's so interlinked with everything that I do in my life. I can't really, as much as I try and separate the two, that's really difficult sometimes. So I like to do this question and look at the whole range of things that I've got going on and really ask myself, okay, so what is working and what is not working? And that may be what marketing's working, what marketing's getting results, what tasks am I doing on a day-to-day basis that are actually making an impact, what is it that I'm doing that makes me feel good, and just really looking at it and being quite ruthless, I think, about it, I suppose is there's a better word for it than ruthless, but being quite ruthless about looking at really what is working and what's not, and being honest with yourself about what it is that you're doing. And actually that's a great place to start, because once you've got that clear, then you can start making decisions about, okay, so what needs to change? That's always the next question, is what needs to change as a result. And this is something that I do with my Wholehearted Business group program. When we do our quarterly planning sessions, I always start off with these 3 key questions in those planning sessions, because it really helps us. It helps us not stay stagnant. If we're not doing that process of identifying this is working, this isn't, this needs to go, this needs to change, then we're not actually going to make a lot of progress. So it's really important that we have that step in there. And then number 2 is to check in with your mindset. Now, I'm of the kind of opinion that mindset is really important, but it's not everything. I think it's really common for coaches, like business coaches especially, to just blame everything on mindset. And I don't think that's the case at all. I think some things are much more complicated than just a mindset thing. However, your mindset at the same time, your mindset is hugely important and hugely impactful in your business and how you show up. Massively so. This is something I'm always trying to work on, attempting to work on for myself. But if your mindset isn't conducive to your business growing and developing, then it's really going to hold you back. So actually building in some kind of mindset work into just how you generally show up in your business, some kind of self-inquiry, really looking at how perhaps your self-protective beliefs, some people might call them limiting, but often they're protective beliefs, what those might be and how they're showing up in the actions that you are and aren't taking in your business. And actually just getting into that kind of work and finding a way to always drop into that. And again, in Wholehearted Business, we have a mindset call specifically so that we look at this stuff, because it's really easy to just gloss over it sometimes, but actually it's a really important part of how it is that we show up all together. So that's a really important element, is just to think about the mindset side of things and ask yourself, is that part of why you're feeling stuck, and what needs to shift and change around your mindset as well. And then number 3 is to simplify, but in a way that makes sense for you. So often, again, I said earlier on in the show about often this feeling of being stuck is connected a little bit to feeling overwhelmed and to feeling like we don't really know what the next steps are. So I think when we simplify things and look at, again, to go back to the first point, what's working and what's not, is there anything that just needs to go, that you just need to stop doing? Now, hands up, I am the worst person in the world for doing this, because the way that my brain works is doing things in a simple way. I feel like I'm quite good, at least I hope I'm quite good at communicating things in a simple way, I hope. But what I'm not good at is making things simple for myself. So this is something I really struggle with. But sometimes you have to really look at what you've got going on in your business. And again, a bit like what I said earlier, and make some ruthless decisions about what isn't working so that you can move forward. Now, I've done this before several times in my business. At the very start of 2020, even before the pandemic hit, when I had my daughter, I made the decision that basically I was not doing health coaching anymore. And that was a huge decision, and it was really difficult. And I really had to look at what was and wasn't working, what felt good for me, all of the stuff. There was so much mindset stuff that came with that, and make that decision. A few months earlier than that, I'd closed a program that I was running, like a wellbeing program that I was running. I stopped running that. Previously to that, I've stopped memberships that I was running, and they're all really difficult decisions. But sometimes it's these things where we just need to let stuff go, and maybe it's not like an offer that needs to be simplified or let go of. Maybe it's something in your marketing that you try to do too much of. Maybe it's something to do with something in your life actually that's having a bigger impact. Really looking at what can be simplified, particularly if you're feeling overwhelmed, I think is really important, and just bringing it down to the basics and really focusing on those things that are actually working the best. And then my 4th tip is to try something new. Now, again, if you are prone to overwhelm, you might not necessarily want to dive into this, but in the words of Albert Einstein, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. Now, this is something I always try and remind myself of when I am thinking, I wish my business was doing something different, or I wish I was making more money, or wish I was getting more clients, because often I am doing the same things, and sometimes that's okay if it's stuff that's working, and it's sometimes that is actually about momentum and creating momentum with something. However, I do think it's such a good thing to remember, because if you are not happy with the results that you are getting in your business, if you are feeling stuck and stagnant, try something new. And maybe that new thing is the letting stuff go and the simplification. Maybe that new thing is something completely new to you. So I really think this is a good one to remember if you're feeling stuck. That Albert Einstein quote, I think, is such a good one. So whatever it is, maybe it's putting better boundaries in place. Just do something different. If you're feeling stuck, and as long as it's not going to add to overwhelm, do something different. Listen to Albert Einstein. He had a good point. So try something different. And then the final tip that I have for you is to work with a coach or a mentor. Now, I wouldn't be here doing this if I wasn't going to drop this one in, because I do think it's really helpful if you're feeling stuck. And even if this isn't working formally with a coach or mentor, maybe you have a business bestie who you can brainstorm stuff with and work through stuff with. Maybe you have a friend who's not in the business world but actually is a good person to talk to. It doesn't always have to be like a formal thing, but as someone who coaches and mentors, I do obviously believe that it's a really great modality to help people if they're feeling stuck. So that can look like lots of different things. I really think, particularly if you are feeling stuck, it's really good to work with people in more of a high touch way. So I think that is working one-to-one with someone or working in some kind of program where there's quite a high level of support, because if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're just doing another course, that's probably not going to fix anything. I think it needs to be something a bit different. So this is a perfect time to drop in and remind everyone that the price for my one-to-one mentoring package is going up at the end of the month, at the end of March. So if you're listening to this or watching this at a different time, that's going up at the end of March 2023. So if you have been thinking, okay, like I'm feeling really stuck in my business, something needs to shift and change, I need an outside perspective, I need a different kind of support, I need someone's advice and guidance and cheerleading, anything like that, then this could be right for you. So do check out, I'll put the link to my Thrive one-to-one mentoring program below. And obviously I love working with my clients and working with you guys to help you develop and grow your coaching business. I also have mentioned a couple of times Wholehearted Business. Now, Wholehearted Business is my 6-month group program. And like I say, we do planning sessions, we do mindset calls and things like that. We cover all of that kind of stuff in the one-to-one program as well. I always think my one-to-one program is the most intensive, quickest, most awesome way to work with me if you want to get results quicker and you want to get that personal attention and that all of that focus. That's definitely the thing for you. But if you are a newer coach who is just wanting to get your first couple of clients, get your marketing shit sorted out, then Wholehearted Business really is the best thing for you. So I'll leave a link to that as well. But like I say, if you're perhaps thinking maybe now is a good time to work with a mentor or a coach, then my package is there. And like I say, the price will be going up at the end of the month. Do check out more of the information on both of those different options. Like I say, Thrive one-to-one mentoring and Wholehearted Business, do check them out because they're different, but both of those would definitely give you the support that you need if you are feeling stuck. So I really hope that that's been helpful. Like I say, feeling stuck is, I think, quite a normal part of running a business. Sometimes you're going to hit periods of stagnation. You're going to feel like things that you used to do, that used to work, aren't working anymore. Like, it's just part of showing up in the world and certainly running a business like a coaching business. But the good thing is there's lots and lots of things that you can do to get unstuck and to change, how it is that you feel and change the results that you get. And I really hope that those 5 tips have given you some ideas to start that process off. So I really hope that episode of the show has been helpful. As always, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. That would be awesome. And I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.